Hello there, and welcome to yet another episode of my Car Mechanic 2021 series. You might notice the camera's in a different angle too. It's a long story, but let's just say I had to swap out some broken equipment, mainly my monitor. I had to move the cameras down, so different angle. Anyway, today we're doing the first of the cars for the Nissan DLC. In this case, it's the 370Z Nismo, or Nismo, however you pronounce it. I apologize if I'm butchering the name. But this was an auction find. As you can see, it's in the mid 60s in terms of quality, so it's really not that bad a shape. So we're probably going to have hopefully a smooth time with this one. Mainly just take it apart, breathe on it, and then put it back together. Give it a better paint job because I'm not digging the current paint job, which is yeah. But excuse me. Let's get started. Get the frame done first before we do anything. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Oh. Yep, good to go on that. Okay, so what was the choice in colors? So like a light purple, black, and basically white or white. Okay, so we'll come up with something. Try to give it a nice little shiny paint job of some sort, because this looks almost... Yeah, I'm sorry. This just reminds me of like that lime Gatorade for some reason. Which isn't bad, but the color's not great. Anyway, we'll fix that, along with everything else. Even though it's in good shape, we're still gonna take it apart completely and get it all back to 100%. That's what we do on this series. Grabbing everything we can. Should be at 1%. Nope, 5. We forgot something. Did I forget the other body window? Yes, I did. Okay. Gotta be more careful with that. 2%, so there's still something else? Maybe? That's not an engine cover, but okay. Got all the windows, we got all the doors. Got the tail lights. I was thinking maybe with like it was this little trim piece here, but I guess not. Huh. Suppose we'll find it eventually, but if we can't find it right now, that's fine. It's just usually when you have everything off the car, the percentage is like 1%, which tells you uh, got everything. Okay, so you have to get that from under the car. That count? That counted. Sure, it did. Okay. I'm sitting there going, an engine cover. Why the flip would it be? Okay, sure. Alright. That's how the game wants it. That's how it gets it. Keep wanting to go over there for the body stuff initially. Alright, let's see what we can do here. And the windows obviously aren't going to be fixable. Everything else should be, I think. Or just about everything. Okie dokie. Let's see where that left us. Sort by condition. I had to check something real quick. Get rid of the license plates. We're going to be changing those out anyway. So, yeah, pretty much everything but the headlights, taillights, and the windows, it looks like, which pretty much expected. Alright, sell all the stuff we don't want to keep. There we go. Now we're going to here, and then yeah, and then we're going to get everything on the list. So, got our left headlight, done. Got the other headlight, good to go. Okay, body window. Okay, trunk window, view, right tail light. Okay. Right body window. With front windshield. As I say that, I realize, like, okay, is there a rear windshield? Technically, that's just the back window or trunk window, but you get what I'm trying to say. I'm tired. So sue me. Or don't. I'm broke. Another joke. Sorry. A lot of my humor falls flat. I know that. I'm fine with that. Okay, but anyway, let's get this going. Sometimes my humor just kind of doesn't land like I want it to. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this all together, get the custom plates ordered, put new rims and tires on it, and then we're going to take it over to paint, give it a much better paint job. Alright, so... Oops, I forgot the other... Okay, never mind. I got confused there for a second. I'm just like... Alright. Okay. Now we should be able to go do custom. Sorry, I was sitting there going, do I have a part there? And I had to go back and double check my inventory. Because I felt like I was missing something, and turns out I was. I forgot to put the engine cover back on, even though pretty sure that's a frame stiffener. But I digress. I'm just going to give it the standard plate that I normally put on most of my cars. There we go. Almost there. Alrighty. Put it back in assembly mode. Get these slapped on, and we'll move on to the next stage. You should be at 100%. Okay. Actually, you know what? We're going to do the interior real quick, and then we'll do the tires and rims. Nope, nope, nope. We don't want that. We want... There we go. Okay. Because those are fixable. We're going to go ahead and get rid of them. We're going to get brand new ones. Easy enough to get. Okay. Brand new front seats. No bench seat because there's no rear seat on this thing. New steering wheel. And we get to put those in. Excuse me. I was gonna say, I don't even think there's an option to put extras on here. Okay, moving on. So we check the car, and the interior is 94%, which means I probably forgot to clean the damn thing. That's usually what it means when we replace all the internals, or all the parts for the interior rather, and it still doesn't show 100%. Generally, I forgot to do a step. So there we go. Apparently, it was quite dirty. All right. Oh, sorry. Camera's low enough now. If I put my drink in front of me like I used to, the blocks the camera. Sorry about that. So we are using the two different size tires. They're both 19-inch, so okay. So we got 3 out of the 4 already. That's 100%. So now we're just gonna get, like I said, we're gonna get new tires and rims put on. Well, truth be told, we'll probably just fix the rims and replace the tires, because the tires aren't. You're not able to repair those to 100%. Okay, and that was a. Just want to double check. Yep, 285 is going to back naturally. Okay, I just like to double check that, just to be safe. Kind of digging the rims on this thing though. Looks nice. Alright, let's get the tires separated. And just got a couple more. Okay. Go fix up the rims. Right on. Okay. Now we're gonna need keep one of each basically, and do that so we get that on the inventory, or not an inventory, on the to-do list. And we're going to head over to the tire shop. Alright, standard sport tire, so 245/40. Right? Yeah, 245/40. And let's verify. So 245/40 R19, 245/40 R19. Okay. Get rid of that one. And that, we go back to the tire shop again. And this time we're looking for 285/35. Brain no worky tonight. 285/35. Okay. Here we go. Verify. So 285/35 R19, 285/35 R19. Okay. Looks good from here. Go ahead and get rid of that. Clear our to-do list. And we'll go ahead and get the tires put back together. Could be everybody. Double check. Yep. Alright, let's get them balanced. Tire number 3. And the last one. $285, $35. Yep, that's the one we want. Okay, and that's the other 285, so we'll go ahead and put that on. Okay, let's get the next one on. Again, I'm just putting these on so I get them out of my inventory. I know I'll be taking them off as soon as I do the suspension, but that's how I usually do this. Okay, we are 68%, so not bad. I haven't done much to it yet, but while we've got this up in the air, go ahead and start prepping for engine removal. Not like we need to have fluids in it to get the paint done on it. I'm willing to bet that's gonna have to come off, and that's gonna have to come off. Pop that starter. It's can't see the drive shaft, but it's there. There we go. Now we can see it. Alright. I was trying to click on it to get it to move the camera, but apparently it didn't want to. Should be good down here now. I'm just, like I said, we're gonna have to do this prep anyway. But won't take but a minute. Rain tool. Okay. Get the power steering fluid. Probably have to take that engine cover off before we pop the engine out, but go ahead and do that. Alright, let's get this off to paint before we forget. Alright. So, what should we do with this time around? You know, I'm not hating that. What do they got in terms of liveries for this thing? None. Okay. We kept it green, we just didn't keep it the same color, or same shade of green. And honestly, with the red striping on the edges there, it doesn't look bad. Not bad at all. Alright, let's get you back in the bay. Now, since we did all that prep work, and we... actually, hang on. We got one last thing we want to do. I'm going to put those on the to-do list, because we want to fix the rest of these, and then order the aftermarket versions of those exhaust pipe sections. Okay. Should have gotten everything. It did. And we'll go ahead and order these guys to front exhaust pipe sections. Excuse me. Still burping up supper. Pardon me. Anyway. So yeah, we have all that ready now for when we get done with the engine. You can just drop it back in, slap the stuff back on. With the exception of the drive shaft, which we're going to keep that off there until we get the suspension rebuilt. The rear suspension specifically. Door handles are weird. Alright, let's get the cherry picker. I think we're ready to pull the engine already. Thanks to that little bit of prep I did earlier. Ink. And it's gone. Hold up, this is a V6. We used a V8 starter. Sure. Sure, okay. But yeah, either way, this is an absolute unit of an engine. Look at that. Interesting to see what kind of factory horsepower this had and how far we can push it. We're going to find out rather quickly. We'll probably just do like we always do, just work our way top to bottom. Okay. Oh, we got dual throttles. There we go. Okay. Plastic intake manifold. Ew. I know. They're way too common in modern cars, but still. Ew. Timing covers off. Oh, I can't do that one because it's... Oh, it goes down further. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. That off. Now we can get to that. Okay, that's interesting Oh, that's actually... Okay, sure. I just kind of looking at this going, wait a minute, that's an odd placement for that, but I mean, it needs to go there, but you know, it's okay. Alright. Actually, since we're back here, we might as well go ahead and get the clutch parts taken off. Let's look at the... Come on. Hold the mouse still. I say to no one in particular. So we can't get the cover off because it's waiting for the oil pan. Sure, sure, Dan. Okay. Interesting dependency there. That's part of the fun of these DLC cars, is you learn some new engines. It's a very peculiar design for the engine head. Like one's got the... Oh, they're both? Oh, it's a... Oh, I see. I see now. I see. Dual overhead cams. And it uses a camshaft of sorts to be able to do the... Ah, I see now. Okay. Alright, alright. I'm with you. I'm sitting there scratching my head for a minute like... What the bloody heck is going on with this thing? It's like... Oh. Took me a minute to kind of put two and two together on that. I'm a programmer, not a mathematician. Yoke. So yeah, we need to get that off there. And off that comes. Now if we rotate this back, because we still need to get stuff off the top here. Now we can get the... Oh dear, that's a lot of bolts. Okay, looks like we got some, or rather a timing shoe. Get the chain off? Nope, because there's another timing shoe. Gotcha. Now, oh wait, now we can take it off. Very interesting design. Got a timing chain, you got a timing chain, everybody gets a timing chain. Alright. Oh, we got another layer to the timing. Okay. Doink. Okay. Now, hopefully, we should be able to do... Yep, we can take this off now. We can finally get to those camshaft and rocker arms. Interesting. interesting to see this because I don't think we've seen a combo like this with an engine before on this series. Very interesting. Okay, now we should be able to get everything in here out. The crankshaft bearings first, or bearing caps rather. Oh, we only got 2 of them, right? Because it's a V6. First I looked at it, and was like, is this a V8? Nope, it's a V6. It uses like one part in particular that V8 uses, and maybe the pistons too. I bet you these are still probably standard pistons, but we'll find out here in a second. Yeah, it's just a regular piston with conrod. Some part commonalities with the bigger engine, but not very many, which be expected. This isn't a V8. Alright. So, like we've done in the past, we're going to fix up the engine block and the crankshaft, and then we're going to dump everything else, and then build it from scratch with as many performance parts as we can get a hold of. So, here, like that, and that fixed up. Got that fixed up. Okay. We'll put those back on the engine stand. Go. And that's our starting point. Before we get started with that, let's sell parts that are less than, say, 90%. That should take care of all the stuff that's not 100%. We're going to build a brand new engine with as many, like I said, with as many performance parts as we can stuff into the darn thing. So we got the fuel filter, flywheel, steering pump, six pistons with conrod, and 2 crankshaft bearing caps. Making sure we're not missing anything else. Doesn't look like it. Okay. And go here. We get our fuel filter, flywheel, yeah, power steering pump, six pistons with connecting rod, crankshaft bearing caps, a standard part. We'll go back here, get 2 of those. I also need 6 rod caps. Bam. And new set of piston rings. Could use the standard ones, but we'll find out they don't. Anything else? Get the bearing caps put in. Looking good so far. We're just going to work our way up to the front. Okay. Must have another dependency for the right, because we have to have the other stuff on there first, and then we could put the oil pan on. Okay. Yeah, everything else here looks fine, so we're just gonna go ahead and write the engine so we can work on the rest of this. Alright, so yeah. We get both engine heads, clutch plate. Else? Didn't look like it. Okay. So anything that's standard parts, doesn't look like it. Everything's probably a performance part. So engine head B and engine head A. And then a nice little aftermarket clutch plate. Let's verify we don't have anything else. Okay, it looks like we're good. Okay, clutch pressure plate. 2 exhaust manifolds. Like we got an intake manifold we can do. And we got camshaft B, rocker arm B, another rocker arm B, and a camshaft A. One with 6 spark plugs. Okie dokie. Here, because I know at least some of this is performance parts, we'll get the pressure plate. Wait, did we need 2 of those? We needed 2 of those. Oops. Okay, intake manifold. So we have 1 camshaft B, 2 rocker. I'm guessing the rocker arms are standard parts. Okay, camshaft A, and 6 spark plugs. Right, both the exhaust manifolds are on. Drop the camshafts and the rocker arms in. And the intake manifold. Right, spark plugs. I knew I was forgetting something. Right. Ready for the next round. Alright, still not much for the front, unfortunately. We'll get to that here in a minute, I think. We need 2 fuel rails, camshaft cap B, camshaft cap A, and the clutch release bearing. I think that's it for this round. Alright, so we got anything for here? Yep, fuel rails. I don't think these are performance. Yeah, they're not. Okay. I just thought I'd check anyway. Okay, camshaft cap B, camshaft cap A. Good old clutch release bearing. Alright. You on, since that's easy. Now we're starting to get interesting here. Let's see. Rocker arm A. Another rocker arm A. Oh wait, we forgot the fuel. Okay. Now we can do timing cover and the intake manifold. Another part to the intake manifold. Okay, grab the timing cover. I'm not sure if both of these are performance, but we'll check. That's not okay. That one in. That timing cover put on. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of stuff to get. Here, we got anything else to put in? Not at the moment. We need 4 of those here, so we'll need 8 total. We're gonna need 2 throttles. The alternator finally showed up. And a water pump. And a full set of cam gears. Alright. Getting interesting now. Let's see if there's anything in the performance bin that we need to get. Okay. A couple of throttles. Alternator. Okay, that's not a performance part. I'm pretty sure that isn't either. Cam gear. Cam gear. Okay. I always back out too far. Okay. Wait, hang on. Okay, camshaft cap times 8 rather. Water pump. 2 cam gear Bs. And 2 cam gear As. Alright. Get all this thrown on. Alright, let's get these camshaft caps put in. The light's shining on it, you can't hardly see the outline of the parts. It'd be neat if this game actually had a day-night cycle. Instead of just having the light just statically shining through the skylight. Okay, so engine head cover, and we're gonna need 6 oils, plus the first of the engine covers. And it looks like we're gonna need. They're both timing chain Bs, but let me check. Yep, 2 timing chain Bs. Alright. Just looking to see if anything's I don't think anything here is tuning or aftermarket, so we're just gonna go ahead and grab everything here. Cover B, cover A, another engine cover, and a couple of timing chains. Oh, just two. Yeah, I was gonna get the coil packs, but it doesn't really matter when I get them. They'll show up on the list eventually. Probably get them in the next round. All timing chains on there. Looks like we're good. So we'll get the engine cover and the bigger timing chain. Ignition coils that we needed. Anything else? Doesn't look like it. Alright. What's our shopping list look like? Oh yeah, we're gonna need to go to the aftermarket shop to get the coils. 6. Done. Rest of this looks like standard parts. So did I not take that off there? I didn't, did I? Nope. My bad. Happens when you get in a hurry. You put in man, snazzy looking engine now. Okay. Couple of timing shoes we gotta go get. Those are definitely not performance parts. Although to be fair, they'd have to be made out of some pretty good materials to withstand the torture of the inside of an engine like that. Just saying. Okay, so we need the next engine cover, or timing cover rather. There we go. That. Put that bastard on there with all its bolts. Beautiful. Done with the rest of the engine. It's pretty much just... Oh, there's the oil pan. We can finally put that on. Right, let's mark everything else first, though. Timing covers. Idle roller, another idle roller, another idle roller, another idle roller, and crankshaft pulley. Alright. Let's go. Anything looking like an aftermarket part? Because I don't think so. Yeah. Looks like all standard parts from here. Okay, timing cover C. Timing cover B. And wait, didn't we just buy that? Yeah, we did. I must have forgotten it. I must have hit that by accident instead of something else. Do idle roller A's. We'll figure out what it is here in a minute. It'll be whatever missing part we didn't get during the shopping trip here. Oh yeah, the oil filter is going to have to go next round. Hmm. Maybe that was the part we missed. Must have accidentally marked the timing cover instead of the roller, which, you know, happens. I guess. Alright. Oh, we forgot the oil filter, but that's okay. Right. That's everything. Do a quick pass around the engine, make sure we're not missing something. Looks like everything's there. Seen any part silhouettes or anything. Alright. Let's get her off the stand and get her back in the car, shall we? I'm really looking forward to the dyno results on this one. I'm curious to see how well this does. Cherry pick her back where it needs to go. The engine cover back on. And before we get to the internals, aka replacing everything in the engine compartment, get this up in the air and we'll get the gearbox and the starter put back on. Might even put those two exhaust parts back on, just for completion's sake. Okay, get the starter back on there, and our exhaust pipes. We literally just bopped ourselves in the face with the part, but that's okay. Okay, so the thing we got left is the drive shaft, which I said earlier we're not going to put back in until we get the suspension redone on the back. So, yeah. We're not going to do the rest of the exhaust, because basically what's going to happen here, for those who haven't been watching this before, if this is your first video, I'm sleepy, literally and figuratively. At this point in the build, typically after I've done the engine, I'll do the rest of the engine compartment, like all the fluids, or all the reservoirs and the others, electronics and stuff that need to be replaced, and whatever in terms of the coolant system. We get all basically everything in the engine compartment to 100%. And once we get done with that, we're going to replace the rest of the exhaust system and then the fuel system. And at that point, usually at this point in the restoration, we will only have like the front and rear suspension left to do. So, and we'll be pulling the tires off for that, but we'll be doing all that here in a bit. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and start pulling stuff out here. Okay. We already drained the fluids earlier, so we saved ourselves the trouble. That. Start pulling these reservoirs out. Radiator 2. These little clippies off of here. Oh, come on. Thank you. Okay, got that. Servo, the ECU. We're going to go ahead and mark the fuses because we know we're going to end up having to replace those. Because we're doing 100% here. We're going to have to replace everything. And plus, even if I was doing a non-100% restoration, like if I was just trying to get it good enough to sell and basically do a quick flip, I would still replace the fuses because, of course, I have to get that from underneath. Rule number 1, whether you're working on like say you bought a car at an auction or bought it from somebody, you know, private sale kind of thing. Never, ever, ever, and they're not sure if it runs. Never, ever trust the fuses. You never know what condition they're in, especially in this game. Because you might get something that's, you know, looks good on the outside, but might have a few, you know, issues internally, but, you know, even then not fatal, but things still won't start. First thing you want to check, besides, like, say, compression and a few other things, are the fuses in good shape? They do kind of teach that to you a little bit in the story missions for this game. They have a few cases come in that, you know, you're sitting there going, okay, everything checks out, this thing won't start, what's going on? And it's like, oh, wait, yeah, you check the fuses, yeah, and all of a sudden, yeah, you got a bad fuse or a bad relay, you know, something like that. And then, bam, thing starts up, runs like a top. Make sure we ain't got anything else. Oh, I need to get back in the engine compartment. I want to do a quick check of the engine. Oh, we forgot the ABS. That could have been bad. Right, that's why, especially when you're tired, you always go double checking your own handiwork here. I think that's everything. Right, let's go fix up as much as we can. The battery, will go put it on the charger. That'll fix it. At least in terms of what this game considers fixed. Right. Where does that leave us? Oh, right, the battery. Basically plug it in, count to about 5 real slowly, and bam. Right. So, filter, we're going to get that one. We have to get that one as an aftermarket part if we want to get a slight improvement to the performance. The fuses are already accounted for. So really it's just the coolant reservoir. Let's see, power steering, ECU, washer. I think that's it. Everything else looks kosher. Even the brake servo got fixed up, which is nice. So we'll get rid of all the stuff we don't want to keep, stuff we're going to end up having to buy brand new. Bam. Here, and we're going to get the, we're not going to get the filter here, but we're going to get the washer reservoir, our steering reservoir, and coolant reservoir. Bam. We still have the ECU and the air filter. We'll deal with those here in a second. The ECU is electric, so we'll get that along with the fuses. The filter, A whopping 1% increase, but still an increase. Get you out of the way. Now we're going to pop over to electrical. Get a brand new ECU right from the factory. It's fuse time and fuse and relay time. Okay, fuse type C, U, 3, fuse type B, U, medium fuse type A, times 2. I can't count. Relay type B, 2 relay type A's, bam, and 5 relay type C's. Wow, 5. There we go. Okay, let's dig in. Do the fuse box first. That out of the way. Okay, that's good. We'll put this brake servo in. Let's get the air filter knocked out, or the air intake knocked out. Oh right, we need to pop the. We need to get that intercooler in, but I'm gonna get the rest of this done first, and then we'll pop the vehicle up in the air and get that taken care of. Almost forgot the ECU. Okay, fans in. Like everything except the intercooler. Let's go ahead and start adding fluids back in. Oh, boo. We gotta take the engine cover off. Almost forgot to put the ABS and the battery in there. I mean, I'd have found it when I checked my inventory anyway, but still. Come on. Drink it all. There you go. That's the only one I overfill on purpose. Okay. Aside from the intercooler, I think we've got everything else. Put it in assembly mode, and then do a quick pass in the engine compartment. Everything looks good. Get it back up in the air. We gotta get it back up in the air for the exhaust and the fuel system anyway, so no problems there. Alright, pop that bad boy back in there. We're good on that. Okay, so now we need to do this. We're gonna take all this out. Here, oh, lose the fuel pump and the fuel tank. And go here. We're not even going to try to fix any of this up. It's all going to get replaced, except for the fuel tank, with aftermarket parts. That. Go here. Okay. Let's make a new fuel tank. Rest of this is going over here. We need 2 rear mufflers. 2 middle mufflers, aka resonators. Brand new fuel pump. And 2 cats. Get the fuel tank in first, because I'm kind of focused on that. There we go. Just like that, we got a working fuel system and exhaust. Good to go. What's the part condition at now? Ooh, we're up to 86%. Very cool. Right, it's suspension time. Go ahead and get these tires off. We'll just start tearing into it. So we're going to do the rear suspension tear down first, because reasons. Shouldn't see too much in the way of rusted parts, because like I said, the part condition on this car was pretty decent from the get-go. It makes for some... It still makes for interesting gameplay because we're still doing a full teardown and rebuild. Or teardown and restoration. But I like... Typically, when I was hunting for cars, I only got these kind of cars because I couldn't find through the normal RNG of the game, through either auctions or junkyards, or even barn finds, you know, craptacular versions of these cars. Because ideally speaking, at least in my idea of ideal, I want the car to be in poor condition when we start, because I want you guys to see, you know, the kind of the work involved with like completely restoring this thing and replacing parts, not just, you know, doing part fix up and putting it back in. Which again, you know, still going to take us a while. Most of these videos end up taking an hour and a half, regardless if it's a good condition car or not, but I think it's more of a, you get to see more of a transformative process, you know. So I kind of jokingly refer to doing this kind of stuff as you're taking it apart, you're breathing on it, and then you're putting it back together, which obviously it's more involved than that, but you know, bit of an attempt at tongue-in-cheek humor from me. So anyway. Oh, we actually found a rusty... Actually, it's a rusty nut, not a bolt, but still. Oh, there's another one. Good news is, though, we should be able to take most of this and repair it, except for obviously the consumables. Like none of the bearings are going to get saved, and none of the like suspension assemblies up front. Those, we take them apart and we end up not being able to fix any of it, which is okay. Not the end of the world. Alright. Be able to pull that. Oh. Forgot the bearing, or forgot the bushing rather. Sway bar and cross member. Okay. That's everything from the rear suspension. Let's do the front. If we can't get this apart rather quickly. Okay, off comes the shock assembly. Got the tie rods off on this side. Good, good, good. Okay, let's get these rubber bushings out. Finding a few rusty nuts and bolts here, but not too many, thank goodness. I mean, as would be expected given the current part condition of the car, so eh. Okay, good to go there. And that sway bar has to go. I think we got everything else. Yep. Alright. We're gonna get the brake rotors smoothed out. Or, you know what I mean. Recondition these rotors, and then we'll go see what else we can fix up over at the workbench. Okay. We're getting there. All right, last one. Could be the last one. It is. Just making sure. Alright. So I'm going to go into focus mode here. So if I stop talking, that's why. We got a lot of parts to fix. Almost there. I saw I had like 6 pages of, you know, parts to fix. I was like, man, I need to focus. Especially as tired as I am. Even though the mini game really isn't that difficult. Alright. I should have left this in a pretty good spot. Yes, I just realized that I forgot to take the assemblies apart. But it's not like it made a difference anyway. Still can't fix them up like I was saying earlier, so no harm done there. At least we caught it before we started buying parts. Okay. So, speaking of which, and we go almost into page 3 before we even see anything below 100%. Not bad. Okay, so we'll start from here. Alright. Build parts. Boom. Alright. See about how we're gonna fare the list-wise. It's pretty lengthy, but it's not too bad. New brake pads. Got you. 16 rubber bushings. Right on. Okay, got those. Okay, 2 front springs. 8 small rubber bushings. Bam. 2 front shocks. 4 brand new wheel bearings. Okay, looks like we got both inner tie rods. 2 sway bar front end links. 2 front shock caps. 2 wheel hubs, or wheel hub caps, excuse me. 2 outer tie rods. 2 rear shocks. 2 rear springs. 2 rear sway bar links. And a rear sway bar to go with them, along with a front sway bar. And 2 rear shock caps. Alright, let's get those assemblies put together before we put the car together this time. Previous video, I forgot to do this, and it was just like, it got all the way to the front suspension. I'm like, uh-oh. That's no bueno. Alright, let's get down to it here. All the preliminaries put in. That drive shaft out of our inventory. Alright, back over here. Okay, looking good so far. When I was doing this stuff early on, I kept forgetting the little bushing there. So I can get this last little part of the suspension in there. Is like, I'm like, why isn't this letting me? Like, oh, right. One of those things you kind of learn, not necessarily the hard way, but you learn after the first couple of times you forget them, you know, to look for them. That way you don't, basically you don't get stuck like I did. Again, it was early on. Hadn't been playing for very long. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Almost put on the wrong tire. That would have been awkward. Okay. Before we start on the other side, I'm gonna get these bushings put in. Ow. Need a new chair. Putting stuff in pretty much no particular order here, just as it pops up. Okay, that, work our way over to this side of the suspension. Alright, time to focus on the last little bits here. Yep. Camera, please. Thank you. Sometimes when I misclick like that, I can get back to where I want to, and sometimes I have to back clean out. Want the other 285. And we'll do a quick check here, make sure we didn't miss anything. Give it a once over. Looking good here. Let's go to the other side and do the same for that. I just want to make sure we're complete here. And it looks like we are. One freshly redone rear suspension. So let's get this side put together. Okay. That. Sway bar. Steering rack. And we'll get these bushings put in first. That way I don't have to fuss with that later. Okay. Everything's coming together nicely. Definitely don't want to forget the outer tie rod. I mean, unless we don't want to steer the car properly. But then again, if we missed it, it wouldn't be 100%. And anyway. Like I said, this whole series, if anybody's watching this for the first time and hasn't picked up on it already, each one of these builds we get to 100% on everything. 100% condition for the parts, the body, the interior, everything. It's a bit more work, but I want to make sure it's in perfect condition before I sell it. Gives a little bit more of a challenge versus just flipping the cars. And again, there's no one way to play this. It all depends on, like, if you want to do your own YouTube series with this stuff, do it however you want. Plenty of ways to play. Okay. Inventory is empty. Let's check the car. And we're 100% on everything. Good job, everybody. Group effort. We got close to the factory color with it, but I wanted something a little shinier. Okay. Looking pretty spiffy. Let's get you over to the alignment rack. We'll get the headlights and the wheels lined up, and then it's off to the dyno room. Okay, that one's good to go. And that one's good to go. Okay. There we go. Wheels and wheels and headlights are aligned. And off to the one of the more interesting parts of this, besides the build itself, of course, in no particular order, the dyno room. Okay, so respectable 384 horsepower from the factory and 301 pound-feet of torque. So, again, decent numbers. Better than my truck gets, and it's a V8. Let's let her rip. Listen to that sound. .654 horsepower for a gain of 270, so a 71% increase. 487 pound-feet of torque, so an increase of 187, and a 62% increase, respectively. Not bad. Not bad at all, especially for a car this size. Imagine with the right tuning, this could probably even be a halfway decent track car, or maybe even a drag car, if you did it right. We're not going to do that with this car, but hey, it's a definite possibility for somebody out there. So let's get you out to the main entrance here, and we're going to take some pictures. Okay, that one's going to be the thumbnail for the video, which you will have already seen by the time you get to this point. Most likely. That one's going on Discord. Okay, before we look at the numbers, we're going to take this off to the speed track. I want to see how fast this little sucker can go. Alright, everybody strapped in? Oh, an interesting little compartment there above the CD player. Alright, off we go. Bit of a rough start there. I had to kind of double or triple tap the throttle, but that's okay. 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180. Come on, baby, go. 190. 195 straight into the wall. Damn. That would have destroyed the car had this been real life. Alright, 195. That's pretty dang good. I'm happy with this car. Let's let's see the numbers here. See where we're at after all of this work. Right. So, like I said, 100% condition. We kind of did a slight variation on the factory paint job. But yeah, we bought it for 64 grand and some change. And you can see the condition bonus, the performance part value, the body value, parts value, all the how all that factors in. We're selling it for 144,434 for a profit of 80,393. So a little more than doubled our money. That's not bad. Not bad. I'm very happy with this build. It actually turned out really well, and it had a pretty peppy amount of horsepower in it too. Decent torque numbers too. I mean, very impressed with this car. I hope the others are, just as interesting. In their own ways, of course. Oh, that almost got us to 3 million. Hot damn. All right, let's go move some cars around, shall we? So the next episode's going to be the GTR, okay, the R35, and yeah, it's another one that's in okay shape, but it seems to be missing a few things, which we'll get to next time. That's going into Bay 1. And next we've got this interesting specimen. Nissan Silvia S15. That's going into Bay 2 because that's going to be 2 episodes out. It needs a little love. Kind of been sitting out for a while. Apparently out in the dusty field for who knows how long. And there she is. Nissan Fairlady Z, the S30. This one's going to be the one I'm really looking forward to. I like the older cars myself. I'm not like I said, I hadn't been born yet when this car was made, but like I said, I'm still a fan of the older cars. So you're going into position 2 outside here because that's 3 episodes out. Again, needs some love. Been out in the sun a bit. That's putting it nicely. But we'll fix her up, make her pretty again. I don't know if we'll keep the stock color or not, but we'll decide that when we get there. Right, so fill this spot. We're going to need to pull another car out of storage. And that would be the Mazda RX. Actually, that won't be the Mazda RX-3. That'll be 2 episodes after this one. We're going to do a filler car, and then we're going to start the Mazda DLC. See, I caught myself this time. Okay. Let me... Chrysler Cordoba. I think I just bought this one for shits and giggles aspect. AKA filler episodes. Let's see. So that's obviously part of the previous DLC, or the new DLC rather, that just came out. I'm not even sure what this one's based off of in real life, but we're gonna do it. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Because we got that, we got the Roadster Echoes Imperator, which that one's gonna be nice. That was one of the first cars I ever restored fully in this game. And the Bolt Chapman, which is going to be an homage to my very first car that I had in real life, which was a 82 Oldsmobile Delta 88. That was almost that color that you see that in that little picture for that car. Yeah, let's pull this guy out of storage here. And we need to clean it. Of course we do. Yeah. Hope people brought gloves because this is kind of nasty. Oh, and it's even like multiple colors too. Ew. Okay. It's not in the best of shape. That's putting it nicely. Look at that tiny little engine there. We're gonna have fun with this one. But yeah. Let's move that to position 3, because that's gonna be once we finish the cars, the 4 cars for the Nissan DLC, we're gonna jump straight into this, and then it's off to the Mazda cars. So that's our, well, that's basically the next 4 episodes right there, and then some. And with that, I'm gonna thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you want notifications for videos or maybe the rare stream that I'll be doing from time to time on YouTube. Most of my streaming's done on Twitch, so if you just look for the same handle there, you'll be able to find me. And with that, I'm going to turn you guys loose. See you guys in the next video. Take care.